A flurry of thoughts raced through Kylin's mind. Damn it! Who is this woman exactly? Why do I feel a tremor in my very soul from her presence? I've never experienced anything like this before. If she truly is the ancestor of the Medusa clan, the 10-colored heaven-swallowing python that the blue flower serpent mentioned, then why is she making things so difficult for me? Within a few breaths' time, Kylin gave up thinking. What stood beneath her feet was none other than the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. Some of the more gifted members of the Serpent folk clan, during their cultivation, would give birth to a companion spirit serpent inside their bodies. This spirit serpent would grow along with the strength of its master, much like when Kylin had used the power of the heavenly flame to break through and evolve into the 7-colored sky-devouring python, accompanied by her own spirit serpent. However, this spirit serpent was as important to the serpent folk as the heart is to humans. Only in moments of deadly peril would it be summoned forth. Otherwise, the spirit serpent would seldom show itself. If it were carelessly killed, the serpent folk would suffer an incurable injury. Some might even perish on the spot. After all, the spirit serpent was known as the heart of the serpent folk. At this moment, the creature beneath Kylin's feet was none other than the 7-colored sky-devouring python she once possessed, but now it had evolved into the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, along with Kylin's own evolution. Its body had undergone countless changes. The 9-colored light radiating from its body pulsed relentlessly, and a menacing aura spread from its form. The most noticeable change was that this 9-colored heaven-swallowing python had developed its own intelligence. More importantly, its strength advanced in tandem with Kylin's. Whenever Kylin broke through, the strength of the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python would naturally follow suit. Even Kylin couldn't fully comprehend the nature of this mysterious bond. She could only vaguely sense that it was related to the bloodline of the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python within her. Senior, I've come here today for 2 reasons. First, to seek out a strong member of the Medusa clan. If I can obtain the power of their inheritance, I hope to help them find a more suitable place to reside. As for the second reason, there are rumors of a 10-colored heaven-swallowing python among the Medusa clan, and I wish to witness it for myself. But, Senior, you showed no consideration for my intentions. You attacked me the moment we met. This is hardly proper, don't you think? Kylin stood proudly on the head of the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, her voice ringing with anger, fully displaying the imposing presence of the Medusa queen. The massive tail of the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, hundreds of meters long, writhed continuously, its serpent eyes locked onto the mysterious woman on the ground below. This woman possesses terrifying power. The 9-colored heaven-swallowing python thought uneasily. The oppressive force from this mysterious woman weighed even more heavily on the python than Kylin's own aura. Hehe, is that what they say in the outside world? The 10-colored heaven-swallowing python, with its mouth, it could swallow the sun, moon, and stars. With its eyes, it could destroy both heavens and earth. The mysterious woman murmured softly, her expression calm, as if unaffected by the legendary tales circulating in the world. Just as Kylin and the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python exchanged glances, preparing to make a move, the mysterious woman suddenly acted. In an instant, her face turned grave, and a chilling power began to emanate from her body, along with a strange, gray energy. The 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, known for its affinity with cold energy, would thrive in such an environment, making the battlefield even more favorable for the python. Something's wrong. Kylin, retreat. At first, the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python was uncertain about what was happening, but as the mysterious woman's aura intensified, white frost surged from her body, and her pupils filled with a deathly gray hue. The gray energy slowly filled her pupils, and a terrifying force capable of extinguishing all life began to emerge. At the same time, a dense, frigid white mist spread from the woman's body. Scatter! Kylin instinctively realized something was amiss and immediately shouted to the python. Since her evolution, the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python had not appeared again, but the bond between Kylin and the python, through blood and strength, remained as strong as ever. Their minds were one. As soon as Kylin moved, the python's eerie nine-colored serpent eyes flashed with caution. Without hesitation, it twisted its massive form and fled from the mysterious woman. They say that in ancient times, the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python, when trained to its peak, could rival the strongest of Docian at the peak of their powers. It's a pity. Though you are a royal of the Medusa clan and the heir to the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python's bloodline, you don't understand the true method of cultivation. In your hands, the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python is little more than a toy. If the python's ancestors could see this, they would likely faint from rage. The mysterious woman spoke in a slow, cold voice. Retreat now. The nine-colored heaven-swallowing python suddenly seemed to realize something and roared furiously toward Kylin's position. Its thunderous roar echoed throughout the mysterious space, shaking the very air for what felt like an eternity. It's too late. The mysterious woman whispered softly. In the next instant, her deathly gray eyes constricted, locking directly onto Kylin. Under the woman's intense gray gaze, Kylin felt her very soul tremble, as if it had been frozen in place. It was as though she were completely bound by this mysterious woman's gaze. What is this? Kylin muttered stiffly. With the gray eyes fixed on her, she could feel not only her soul being restrained, but also her do chi and bloodline power freezing within her. Medusa, the petrifying eye. As Kylin struggled to comprehend the situation, the mysterious woman's voice exploded, piercing the eerie silence of the space. The moment her voice thundered through the mysterious domain, the entire space froze in an instant. Two beams of gray energy, brimming with death, shot from the woman's pupils like arrows. The beams converged upon one target, Kylin. Impossible. That's the Medusa's petrifying eye. The nine-colored heaven-swallowing python exclaimed in terror, fear gripping its heart. Before the words had even left its mouth, the terrifying gray beams had already reached Kylin. Damn it! I can't move. Kylin struggled, her aura surging in defiance. But even so, she discovered that neither her soul power nor her do chi would respond to her will. Am I really going to die? Kylin felt an unusual calm wash over her, though a small, delicate figure appeared in her mind. Xiao, I'm sorry, Kylin whispered softly, as a single tear slipped from the eyes of the legendary Medusa queen of the do chi continent. Kylin, don't give up. The nine-colored heaven-swallowing python's aura surged once more, unleashing a beam filled with terrifying nine-colored energy toward the mysterious woman. After executing this move, the python let out a delicate hum before quickly twisting its enormous body. Its several hundred-meter-long form glowed brilliantly with nine colors as it ruthlessly hurled itself toward the gray beam of death. Damn it! I can't believe it's the Medusa's petrifying eye. How could the Medusa's petrifying eye exist in an upper dimension? This is a supreme technique capable of threatening even Docian and Doshan experts. The nine-colored heaven-swallowing python exclaimed in disbelief. Clearly, it knew much about the Medusa's petrifying eye. The python's colossal form moved rapidly, intent on using its body to block the lethal force. However, as the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python lunged, the mysterious woman casually waved her hand, instantly neutralizing the python's attack. With a cold snort, an invisible force blasted the python back several hundred meters. Damn it! The python, filled with anxiety, saw the situation grow dire. A flicker of madness flashed through its nine-colored serpent eyes. The seven-colored sky-devouring python had always been immensely proud, and even after evolving into the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python under Kylin's guidance, it still harbored some defiance toward her. However, thanks to Xiao Yan's past care, the python's feelings toward Kylin had gradually changed over time. The nine-colored heaven-swallowing python, inherently female, had always remained distant due to Kylin's cold demeanor. Their conversations had been few, even as they roamed the do chi continent together. Kylin, for her part, chose not to burden Xiao Yan with unnecessary complications and kept this matter to herself. Yet, As the python's actions played out before her eyes, Kylin's heart was deeply moved, and her recently brightened eyes grew moist once again. Kylin. The power of 9 colors. At the critical moment, a seed-like mass of terrifying 9-colored energy separated from the python's body. As the 9-colored energy cluster emerged, the python's aura weakened drastically. With a mighty swing of its enormous jaws, the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python launched the ball of 9-colored energy toward Kylin. Where the 9-colored orb passed, the solidified space exploded and collapsed. Yet, due to the presence of the mysterious woman, the space itself did not disappear. Kylin, seeing this, felt a surge of emotion and did not give up. Though she couldn't control her soul power or do chi, she struggled to move nonetheless. So, it's the power of 9 colors. This is the essence of your existence as a 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. Without it, even with your bloodline, you would not truly be called a 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. The mysterious woman's voice was calm. Shut up. If we survive this, I swear I'll make sure not a trace of you remains. The python spoke, transforming into a graceful woman who clutched her chest in anger and resentment. The woman the python became had short hair, a delicate yet proud face, and an air of undeniable arrogance. Unlike Kylin's eternally cold expression, as if she were an untouched snowflake, the python's human form exuded a raw and wild confidence mixed with a faintly fierce charm. You stay put, the mysterious woman said, having unleashed the Medusa's petrifying eye. With a wave of her jade-like hand, she sealed the transformed python with a force radiating tin-colored light. Seeing this, the python gave up struggling and sat cross-legged to heal its injuries. Cough, cough. Strangely, the gray energy filled with death that shot toward Kylin initially felt overwhelming, even freezing space itself. Kylin knew that if this power hit her, even a Do Xian expert would fall. However, the moment the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python intervened, the gray death beam seemed to slow down significantly. Is it an illusion? Kylin muttered in surprise. Without hesitation, she reached out and took hold of the 9-colored power the python had thrown to her. As the power of 9 colors flowed into her, Kylin felt an immense surge of strength filling her entire body. Such terrifying power. It rivaled that of a perfect 5-star Do D. Even without access to her soul power or Do Chi, just this energy from the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python caused Kylin's aura to soar. If the two of them fought together, there would be no one at their level capable of opposing them. Humph! With her strength restored, Kylin's aura rose like a tidal wave, and the 9-colored light around her body clashed fiercely with the gray deathly force. Swish! The gray energy pushed forward relentlessly, unaffected by the 9-colored light surrounding Kylin. No matter how much power she unleashed, it had no effect on the gray death energy. It seemed that the gray death force was completely impervious to Kylin's attacks, continuing its march toward her. It's enough? The mysterious woman murmured softly. The 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, hearing her words, seemed to ponder, is she testing Kylin? The python's gaze locked onto Kylin. At that moment, Kylin's body glowed brilliantly with 9-colored light, but no matter how powerful her strikes were, they had no impact on the approaching gray energy. In the next instant, the gray energy slammed into Kylin. Swish! The python's eyes contracted sharply. If things didn't turn out as she anticipated, they would both die here today. Boom! The gray energy crashed into Kylin's body. Kylin's eyes glazed over, and she floated in the air. Her body flooded by the deathly gray energy, which penetrated her limbs and bones. As expected, the python rejoiced. Within a few breaths, the immense gray energy was absorbed into Kylin, restoring her appearance. The power of 9 colors returned to the python's body. Little one, this is my final gift to you. Whether or not you can comprehend the Medusa clan's most sacred treasure will depend on your own fate, the mysterious woman said softly, her gaze lingering on Kylin. Thank you, Senior. Kylin quickly responded. She understood well that if the mysterious woman had truly wanted her dead, a single finger would have been enough. Moreover, Kylin realized that the Medusa's petrifying eye, though it appeared to be a force of death, was actually a massive repository of knowledge. The gray death energy flowed into Kylin's body, not only repairing and strengthening her physique, but also flooding her mind with an immense amount of information. The information was incredibly complex, but one thing was clear. The gray energy just now was the key to cultivating the Medusa's petrifying eye. Alright, I've transmitted the cultivation method for the Medusa's petrifying eye to you. There's no rush to start, though, as the time flow in this space is very slow. 10 days here equate to only 1 day outside. But your 9-colored heaven-swallowing python isn't exactly up to par, the mysterious woman said, casting a strange smile at the woman formed by the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. Seeing this, the python woman instantly felt a sense of impending doom. Don't be afraid, I'm not going to eat you. After all these years, I've finally encountered a descendant of the Medusa clan, one with royal blood no less. How could I let you go so easily? I have a feeling this little one's achievements will one day surpass my own. You should rest assured and follow her, the mysterious woman continued, speaking directly to the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. With another casual wave of her hand, a radiant force of 10-colored energy appeared in the mysterious woman's palm. You, the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, were born due to Kylin's evolution. In fact, you owe your existence to her, the mysterious woman said softly. Hearing this, the previously arrogant look in the eyes of the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python dimmed slightly, as she understood her very existence was thanks to Kylin. She gazed at Kylin, her heart a mix of conflicting emotions. Kylin, although you possess the bloodline of the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, you evolved into it later on. As such, both the bloodline and power of your 9-colored python are incomplete. Defeat me, and you will gain the purest bloodline and the true cultivation method of the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. And as for the rumored 10-colored heaven-swallowing python, defeat me, and I'll tell you all about it. With a cold snort, the mysterious woman's voice echoed through the space, causing it to tremble. A terrifying, destructive aura began to emanate from the woman, now revealing herself as the 10-colored heaven-swallowing python. At this moment, Kylin finally realized the terrifying aura surrounding the woman in front of her was at the level of a Dou-Xian. A Dou-Xian expert. Kylin muttered, struggling to comprehend the overwhelming power of the woman before her, as fear crept into her heart. I'm in too, shouted the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. Hearing this, Kylin turned her head, feeling a sense of comfort spread through her. At this moment, she knew without a doubt that there were no more barriers between her and the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. All right, Kylin, never one to hesitate, knew something strange was afoot. Despite the 10-colored python's earlier attack that could have killed her with the Medusa's petrifying eye, it was clear the woman had no intention of harming them. Moreover, Kylin and the 9-colored python both understood that defeating a 10-colored python of Dou-Xian level with their mere 5-star Dou-D powers was near impossible. Still, Kylin believed that the mysterious woman had her reasons for all this, and without further hesitation, she nodded slightly to the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. Let's move. The 9-colored heaven-swallowing python transformed back into her enormous, ancient beast form, her beautiful eyes now brimming with a strange 9-colored power. Her gaze sharpened, and with a cold snort, a fearsome aura exploded outward. In an instant, she reverted to her true form, the massive 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. Hovering in the void, her enormous body was covered in shimmering 9-colored scales, each scale so terrifyingly resilient that it could likely withstand a blow from a 6-star Dou-D expert. Her serpent eyes gleamed with concentrated 9-colored power. As her size grew, an immense power radiated from her body, rippling through the mysterious space like water droplets. The 9-colored heaven-swallowing python coiled in midair, while Kylin, standing before the mysterious woman, maintained a serious expression. The mysterious woman remained completely still, indifferent to their movements, like an ancient, immovable statue. The nine-colored heaven swallowing python's mouth slowly opened, revealing sharp fangs that now emitted a chilling gleam. As the cold light on her fangs grew, the surrounding temperature plummeted. With a growl, the python surged forward at terrifying speed, her massive form twisting violently as she lunged toward the mysterious woman with her fangs bared. Kylin, who was in perfect sync with the python, immediately understood her companion's intentions. Her body surged with the nine-colored do-chi of a perfect five-star do-di as she leaped onto the python's back. Together, woman and beast shot toward the mysterious woman, their combined power and speed forming a tidal wave of destruction. Sigh. Your coordination is disappointing. The mysterious woman sighed softly. In the blink of an eye, her hair, 10 serpentine strands radiating a bizarre aura, suddenly extended. In a single breath, those 10 snake-like strands grew to over 100 meters long. The 10 strands of hair, each glowing with a different color: orange, gold, red, black, yellow, blue, green, purple, white, and cyan, transformed into towering beams of energy, each one carrying immense binding force. The last of these beams, a white one, stepped forward, heading straight toward the oncoming nine-colored heaven swallowing python and Kylin. As soon as the white beam made contact with their combined attack, it effortlessly neutralized it. A wave of destruction surged from the white beam, carrying the power to obliterate everything in its path. Damn it! Kylin gritted her teeth, her proud gaze now fixed on the remaining 9 beams of varying colors around the mysterious woman. For some reason, she could feel that each of these beams carried a different type of energy. The white beam, which was currently attacking her, seemed to carry the power of poison. Moreover, it appeared to be the weakest among the 10 beams. The nine-colored heaven swallowing python moved with incredible speed. Realizing the white beam was too powerful to defeat, she decisively changed her strategy. Her massive tail, several hundred meters long, swept through the air, aiming to strike the white beam. Boom, boom, boom. The immense tail, radiating nine-colored energy, collided with the white beam. A terrifying wave of energy erupted from the point of impact, and an eerie, 100-meter-wide ripple of destruction spread across the mysterious space. Cough, cough, cough. The white beam quickly dimmed before retreating to the mysterious woman's side. However, the situation for the nine-colored heaven swallowing python was dire. The tail, protected by her 9-colored scales, had been corroded by the white beam's poison, revealing raw, bloody flesh beneath. Even the indestructible 9-colored scales had been dissolved by the mysterious power of the white beam. Are you all right? Kylin hurried to the side of the 9-colored heaven swallowing python, continuously injecting a gentle stream of 9-colored energy into the python's body. With the infusion of this shared power, the python's complexion began to improve. Go! Just as Kylin and the python were at a loss for what to do, the mysterious woman's pupils flared again, firing another burst of strange energy containing 10 different colors, aimed directly at them. Watch out! Kylin immediately became alert. She tried to pull the python away, but the 10-colored power engulfed them in an instant. What is this? The python felt an indescribable sense of comfort under the glow of the 10-colored energy. Her severely injured tail began to heal rapidly, and the 9-colored scales on her tail started to reappear. Amazingly, there was even a faint hint of a 10th color emerging. The python was overjoyed. Under the mysterious woman's 10-colored power, both she and Kylin's strength were restored to their peak. Again, the mysterious woman's voice echoed with an imposing tone as she stood firmly in place. Behind her, the white pillar of light vanished, and then the 9th-ranked green pillar of light slowly stepped forward. Go! As the 9th energy pillar advanced toward them, this time the 2 women faced the immense power of thunder. Surrounding the green pillar, bolts of terrifying lightning, each 100 meters long, flashed violently, crashing toward them. The massive thunderbolts caused the surrounding space to tremble slightly. The sheer force of the lightning made the nine-colored energy surrounding Kylin and the python seem minuscule by comparison. Boom, boom, boom. The two of them used all their strength to barely withstand the ninth pillar of energy. However, the injuries they sustained from this attack were even worse than those from the previous pillar. But after they shattered the ninth thunderous energy, two of the nine colors within Kylin's and the python's nine-colored power suddenly shone brilliantly. A surge of immense power coursed through their bodies. The ninth energy pillar slowly returned to the mysterious woman before dimming and disappearing from view. With the disappearance of the two energy pillars, both Kylin and the python could feel that the two colors within their nine-colored power had become more solid and vibrant. If they could fully defeat the 10 terrifying pillars, their strength would surely skyrocket. However, their attention was drawn to the remaining 8 massive pillars, and they didn't notice the 2 vanished pillars returning to the mysterious woman's hair. As the pillars rejoined her, the mysterious woman's Do Xian strength subtly increased, though neither of them realized it. Again, the mysterious woman shouted, and a new wave of 10-colored energy surged toward the 2 women. They were bathed in the power of the 10-colored energy once more, their strength and bodies fully restored to their peak. Again. But be careful. The further we go, the more terrifying the power becomes. Kylin and the python shared a serious look as they prepared to face the 7th towering pillar. As they attacked the 6th pillar, the difference in their strength became more apparent. After wearing down the terrifying energy of the 6th pillar, they noticed that it did not regenerate at all. Suddenly, they realized something and cast grateful glances at the mysterious woman. Even after breaking through just 4 of the energy pillars, they had already unlocked 4 of the colors in their 9-colored power. Thanks to their heightened perception, they could tell that this new 4-colored power was far more formidable than the 9-colored power they had cultivated before. One day, 1 month, 1 year. In this mysterious space, they had no idea how long they had been there. They experienced countless failures, but every time, their strength was restored, and they continued battling the towering pillars. Boom, boom, boom. Within the mysterious space, Kylin and the python relentlessly attacked the remaining pillars of light. After what felt like eons, the terrifying 10 pillars of light were finally destroyed. Boom, boom, boom. As the final pillar fell, a rare smile appeared on the mysterious woman's face. In the next moment, the 10 serpent-like strands of hair behind her glowed brilliantly once again. The power of the 10 colors exploded forth. "I've done all I can," the mysterious woman said softly, as an indescribable ancient aura began to permeate the space. "Senior." Even Kylin, usually cold and distant, felt a wave of emotion. Since entering this mysterious space, she had been forced by the woman to summon her true, 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, endured the Medusa's petrifying eye, and although it appeared to be an attack, it had ultimately been a great gift for her. Then, using the power of the 10-colored pillars, the mysterious woman had guided both Kylin and the python through their cultivation. Over the long period of time spent breaking each pillar, the 2 women had experienced profound transformations deep within their souls. Now, after defeating all 10 pillars, their auras had undergone an earth-shattering change. Originally, both of them had been at the peak of 5-star Do D, but after overcoming the 10 pillars, their vast Do Chi seas began to condense violently, shrinking rapidly. The 10 pillars had not only guided them but also refined and compressed their power. Their Do Chi seas, originally hundreds of meters wide, were now condensing into mere tens of meters. 10 meters. This was comparable to the level of some 8-star or 9-star Do D experts. Though their Do Chi seas had shrunk, the 2 women knew that cultivation was a process of expanding one's strength. However, at the Do D level, the process reversed. Only when the vast Do Chi sea was compressed into a battle core the size of a fist could one begin the journey toward becoming a Do Xian. Have you realized it? The mysterious woman smiled slightly, choosing not to disturb them, allowing the 2 to continue their comprehension. "Thank you, Senior." Kylin's nine-colored serpent eyes flashed with gratitude as she bowed slightly to the mysterious woman. Her nine-colored power, compared to when she had first entered the Medusa temple, had grown exponentially stronger. Beside her, the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python also bowed its head, despite its inherent pride as a companion beast. It couldn't help but feel a deep respect for the figure before them. If you wish to thank me, it's still too early for that. The mysterious woman's form suddenly shifted, and behind her appeared a colossal serpent, 1,000 meters long, radiating the power of 10 colors. The giant serpent was covered in gleaming 10-colored scales, exuding a terrifying, sovereign aura. The python knew all too well that even if they used all their strength, the two of them would have no way to break through the defense of these 10-colored scales. "Little Tin, bring out the item. It's time for us to leave," the mysterious woman said softly. As soon as the words left her lips, the 1,000-meter-long 10-colored heaven-swallowing python responded in a low voice. "This is our final choice. Let's hope we didn't make the wrong one." With that, the enormous serpent's body began to writhe slowly, and in an instant, a dazzling light emerged from within its belly, moving rapidly toward its mouth. The serpent's eyes, gleaming with intelligence, flickered slightly, and a regal aura began to radiate from it, an aura so imposing that not even the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python possessed it. In the next moment, a tiny, miniature energy snake appeared from the mouth of the 10-colored heaven-swallowing python. As soon as this energy serpent manifested, the nine-colored python's pupils contracted sharply, its gaze fixated on the small snake with an intensity that could not be shaken. A terrifying chill surged from the depths of the nine-colored python's heart. With a loud thump, the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python immediately dropped to its knees. Murmuring in disbelief, it whispered, "Is this the true 10-colored heaven-swallowing python?" The energy serpent flicked its triangular tongue, and from its serpent eyes, an overwhelming aura, one that could make even the heavens and earth submit, suddenly filled the space.